The final step of filling out this card involves filling in the upper left-hand corner where you describe the main part or the main idea of the part in green in a few words and whether it's working as a counter-argument or a refutation. So if you've looked at some of the examples I have in Momentum, you see that I have a couple cards in there, another one I've labeled as evidence, a different one I've labeled risk to minors. You want to try to come up with about 3 or 4 different categories that multiple cards will fit into. So when you start accumulating and making these cards, you don't want to have a different, we're going to call this a heading. You don't want to have a different heading for each card. You want to have maybe 3 or 4 different headings that the different cards kind of fall under. So this evidence is a bit different from the evidence that I have on the other card that is a sample. That actually features a particular case that I found, a news story of someone who was convicted of sex trafficking. This one doesn't point to like a specific case, but it tends to explain how sex rings operate and their status and what they do. So I would probably still call this, use this heading. If I needed to, I could add a little bit more detail, such as how they function or something like that. And that would give me a little more detail that I could use if I wanted to do that. Notice also that, now I've labeled this as a refutation because it does support my position. You want to find sources, though, that don't simply support your position. You want to find sources that also, contradict where you stand. So you want to find a mixture. Notice also that I have color-coded this. So the other card that I have in Momentum that talks about evidence is also blue. The other card that I have that is risk to minors is like a pink or salmon color. So it's a really good idea if you color code your different categories or your different headings, because it'll make organizing your paper later on much easier to do.